No one relishes the thought of conducting or participating in a meeting where the behaviour or performance of an individual is challenged. It's difficult to do. It draws on the emotional strength of both sides and can easily be viewed in a negative manner, where the individual is seen as being obstructive or the line manager is seen as being unfairly critical. Greater care and preparation are required to successfully hold a challenging meeting.
I need to have a difficult conversation later today with someone who's just not performing. It's not so bad that I want to bring out the big guns, but I'd be grateful for any suggestions on how to approach this.
Well, OK. First you have to understand that the purpose of having a challenging meeting isn't only about holding an individual to account for their actions, but more importantly, it's to allow them to learn and develop from the activity or behaviour in question. The key to success is, as always, good preparation. You might want to consider the following areas, but it's by no means a complete list. Research. Check and only lead with the facts. Don't use gossip or something that you can't verify. Seek advice from other managers on an approach to take, perhaps a previous manager or someone who knows the individual. Find a suitable room where you can hold the meeting without any interruption and set aside enough time to deal with all the issues, including theirs. Map out the issues you want to raise in the order that you want to raise them, and that way you won't miss anything out.
Okay.
Give the individual adequate notice of the meeting, but tell them it's about performance, not misconduct. If you intend to resort to formal misconduct, then it's only right that you tell them so. I mean, of course, something might come up in the meeting that is so serious you'll have no choice in how you proceed from there, but always be honest about your intention regarding the meeting.
Okay. What about the meeting itself?
Well, the key message to get across from the outset is that this is not personal. As a line manager, you are questioning and seeking answers as to why and how performance can be improved. Likewise, ask and get agreement that they will not personalise the process, but approach the meeting in a positive and professional manner. They can, of course, challenge your interpretation of the facts or place it in a different context. This is not a one-way process, but they must keep it professional.
How do I keep it professional? Some people can lose their temper very quickly when challenged.
Mm-hmm. Well, if the meeting strays into a personal attack, don't retaliate. By staying firm but professional, refer the individual back to the aims of the meeting. You may have to do this several times, but it becomes increasingly more difficult for an individual to personalise the issues if they know they are going outside of an agreement. Also, start the meeting around issues where the individual's performed well. The meeting shouldn't be entirely a negative one. This should be an appreciation that they've performed well in certain areas. Raise the issue that you want to discuss at an early stage, as this is the main purpose of the meeting. However, even if you were a direct witness to the event itself, leave all your preconceptions and views out of your opening question.
Why?
Because you already know what happened. Now you're looking for the why. The next step is how you get across your message. Have you heard about visualisation?
No, what's that?
Your ultimate aim is to get someone to change their behaviour or work in a different way. As such, there's absolutely no point in you saying, "I thought that was poorly handled," or "you were aggressive in your tone." That's just criticism. To change behaviour or activity, someone has to recognise what they did and understand the impact that it had. The easiest way to do this is by visualising or painting a word picture of the event, its impact, and getting agreement to the facts. For example, if you say, "I saw you coming into the office, you slammed your bag down on the desk, you banged your desk drawer shut, and you refused to speak to anyone. The impact of your behaviour was the others in the office became unsure and apprehensive. Do you recognise that?"
Oh, okay, I get it. You tell them what happened and then how others saw or felt about it.
Exactly. And then you follow up with a series of open questions trying to identify the why. So, why did you act that way? What impact do you think that had on others? At this time, you should be actively listening and checking.
But if I saw the event, I'll learn little to change my response to it.
Such questioning may add little to your knowledge of the incident, but it will assist you in two important areas. 1. It will provide an explanation that, whilst not excusing the behaviour, may put the incident into perspective. 2. It will allow the individual to understand the trigger and the impact of their behaviour or attitude. If they don't understand the why, then they're unlikely to change or improve in the future. Now, it's also important that as a manager, you set and reinforce the standards that are expected. This must be done clearly, but not in an aggressive or a demeaning tone. Tell them what's expected. For example, by acting in this manner, you didn't show fairness or respect to your colleagues, and we fell short of the standards we expect from you as an employee of this organisation. Something like that. I mean, whilst it's not necessary in all cases, you should also consider whether you need to have a further meeting to check on the progress or whether a development plan might be necessary.
Why would I do that?
To reinforce the change you want, you can use a formal development plan or personal objective to develop or renew a skills area. Or you might want a simple meeting sometime in the near future to review performance, see how they're getting on.
Okay. How would I challenge someone who's underperforming across several areas?
Well, you use the same process, but you deal with one area at a time. The key is why they are acting in this certain way. It might be a training issue, they might not know. I mean, they might need a new challenge. It's your job as their line manager to support the person in working out the why and resolving the problem as far as you can.
Okay, well, that's very clear actually. Thanks a lot.
Good, thank you.
Right, I better get back to it.
Prepare and plan the meeting. Deal with the facts only. Set the ground rules, keep it professional. Start and end with good points. Visualize the behaviour being challenged. Listen to what's being said. Understand and learn from the trigger points. Consider a review date or development plan.